From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big afternoon of Afternoons LALATE, and joining us live on Channel 4 is Wall Street Live, and today the back return of Holidays LA with the poinsettias in the show. In today's recording, we go over the breaking news of massive stimulus that's coming into Americans' hands this Black Friday, this week. It's exciting. I'm going to show you how to get it. And one viewer walking away with nearly $50,000 in her hand this week. It could be you. Her name is Kimberly Romano, and I'll go over her success stories and the other success stories that are brand new this week as well. It's massive stimulus from the federal government. It's for you if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, seniors, retirees, all type of people. I'm going to show you how to get it. It's over this 1 hour broadcast, so save the big second half. But today on Wall Street Live, major breaking details at Disney. Disney's executive board reached out to Bob Iger, the former famed CEO, on Friday, saying they're not happy with the current CEO, Bob Chapek, and they said, you know what, the stock is down 40% in 1 year alone. Would you come back to Disney? And the mouse did it. The mouse brought back Bob Iger in a shocking reversal and laying off its CEO about the last year, as the stock has really been in trouble. This is indicative of what's going on with this economy, that a business that may look good, if it's not managed rightly, is going to fall apart, sort of like stimulus. If you don't get the stimulus, you're not going to be setting yourself up for a good situation going into a 2-year recession. Also, what happened with Carvana? On Friday, I told you Carvana is really in big trouble with 10% of its workforce gone, laid off on Friday. This is a used auto company, and I told you auto is going to really fall apart. Well, today, it fell apart even more. A new report says that Carvana could run out of cash and go bankrupt by the end of the year. Wow. This is a major reversal, but this is all why you watch this channel. I'm going to give you the latest predictions on the recession, inflation, Federal Reserve, stocks, bonds, your stimulus, and even holiday LALATE in the big second half as we go over how to decorate that holiday decor for the holiday season. It's all exciting. It's countdown to Thanksgiving. It's countdown to Black Friday. It's all here right now as a big supersized show gets underway. Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day. If you watch that opening credit right there with that little bit of hill, that was where I shot that live show last night. It was Q&A, and boy, did I have fun. It's coming back tonight. Not particularly in the same location, but it's coming back tonight. Housing market was the market that most people thought would really fall apart with Jay Powell raising those interest rates at the Federal Reserve because you cannot afford a mortgage. But as soon as they started doing it early this year, I said two industries are going to fall apart. Housing and auto, because most Americans buy a car with a car loan. Well, today, the first casualty of auto is being felt. It's Carvana. On last Friday's recording on this channel, I reported that Carvana's stock was down 10% when they announced they're laying off 10% of their workforce overnight. Well, today, it actually gets worse. Here you go. The stock is down another 4% right today, as the Wall Street Journal is quoting analysts as saying that Carvana, which is a used car network of dealerships, could run out of cash by the end of the year or within a year. And this is after the company laid off 10% of its workforce, nearly 1,500 employees on Friday. Mismanaging a company or dealing with confusing parts of stimulus is all what we do on this channel. Stimulus needs to be done a certain way, and that's why viewers of this channel are really succeeding. And Kimberly Romano is among those viewers who are really succeeding. How did she do it? She went on this video, became a member, and within less than 30 days, she's walking away with $50,000 approximately. She also listened to the videos very tunely. Videos are very simple. These are all educational videos. And what are you watching? You're watching LALATE, number one in America for this subject matter. For financial news. Number 3 overall for all financial news. And Kimberly Romano heard it and really pounced as a Purple Hawk. She has this message for you. I applied for check B, and guess what I got? I got approved. Congratulations, Kimberly. How many checks did she get approved for? 18 months of about 5 checks a month. Her HOA fees of $360 and all her utilities. Wow. That is 18 months, about 5 checks a month. That is upwards of 80 checks. Remember what Bernie and the Congress was talking about for MSC checks, monthly or multiple stimulus checks? They were talking about 6 months. My viewers are now getting 18 months. Look how we've improved ourselves so dramatically in less than a year. We have gone from potentially 6 months of checks to 18 months of monthly checks. But it gets even better. Congress is talking about doing $1,000 a month after the first month of $1,200, a total of $7,200. My viewers are routinely getting tens of thousands of dollars, not $7,000, not $1,000 checks, tens of thousands of dollars. Kimberly Romano's success story, well, 18 months of, let's say it's $2,000 a month. There you go. That's $36,000. It doesn't end there yet. She also got $4,000 of past due property taxes. That's $40,000. She also got the check A, which is $12,000 approximately. Add that in, that's $50,000 alone. She says, I'm so elated. I'm so excited for you. I love your program. Now, I want to make this very clear to you. This is happening all the time, in every U.S. state. Doesn't matter anything about where you live. Doesn't matter anything about you. You can do it because I have full faith in you. I've been teaching people on this channel to get money since day one. I've gotten viewers $50 million on this channel since it launched. Let's go back into those stimulus in just a second, but let's go right to the breaking news. The breaking news is that Walt Disney stock, the House of the Mouse, is up 9%, 8.8% today after we learned that the executive board reached out to former and beloved and famed CEO Bob Iger to return as CEO after they've watched Bob Chapek ruin the company and the stock is down 40% in less than a year. Iger said yes, he is back as CEO today. What a shocker. Also the shock, of course, Carvana. As auto is likely to fall apart, and I got to tell you, this is really the second casualty of Jay Powell raising interest rates. Get ready for auto manufacturers to have massive problems because no one can afford a car loan. And remember, if you bought a car last year, you still got that same car loan. It's adjustable rate. Those auto manufacturers are going to have big problems. So expect the Carvana problem to spread to other new car and used car networks as well. Coinbase is down 7% in pre-market trading on view of the bankruptcy of FTX. Cryptocurrency is really falling apart. My metaverse viewers and my Decentraland viewers, yes, Decentraland has fallen to 40 cents. Bank of America says Coinbase is not enough FTX, but the situation is not particularly good. Let's get some smucking going on. J.M. Smuckers, the beautiful jelly company, is up 3.3% pre-market trade, so it beat on top and bottom. Good news. I guess people are smucking up a lot. But big problems over in China as there's now the first reported COVID death cases today. Yes, you're watching the show in November. First COVID-related cases in Beijing since May of this year, just reported. Alibaba's down 3.4% in pre-market trading. This is big problems. Williams-Sonoma. We talked about how Williams-Sonoma beat in those retail numbers last week, but not enough, apparently, because Barclays is now downgrading the stock because they think that the housing market is going to negatively impact housewares. Interesting analysis. The stock is down 2% in pre-market trading. What are you watching this week on LA? This week on LA, we're watching for the following corporate earnings to come in. Jump in the live chat because I have questions for you. We're going to do some Q&A in just a second. Best Buy is going to report earnings for third quarter. Nordstrom's, Dollar Tree, and Dick's, they all report tomorrow, Tuesday. Friday is Black Friday. We will not particularly have any Black Friday numbers per se from retailers, but we'll have just sort of empirical data. I'll have it on the live chat. Maybe we should have correspondence on this channel for, I'm just randomly coming into the thought of this. Maybe we should have correspondence. If you are shopping for Black Friday, jump in the live chat, post where you're going to be shopping, and also send me a private message on Facebook. Say, Elliot, I will be shopping in this mall. So I want you to be my correspondent. I want you to tell me what you see in your mall, your city, or your town. The bigger the mall, the more stores, the better. So keep your eyes open. Or if you're just, browsing or having, amusement of this holiday Black Friday sales, I want you to be my correspondent on the ground. I want us to learn from you because you do things better than I can. I'm only one person, but if a lot of you are in the stores, tell me where you are this week, or tell me where you're going ahead of time so that I get you lined up and I get you on air later this week. And this is why you have to get a big stimulus check. The big money is available right now. It's been available since the month of March. There's 3 categories of checks, so let's go over them right now. The first are federal stimulus checks, FSCs. These federal stimulus checks are important because look at that housing data. Housing data is really bad, and that housing market has really collapsed. It's getting worse. It's with the auto industry really collapsing. The data of these markets collapsing once at a time is likely to continue for the next few weeks. Housing collapsed first. Now auto's collapsing. I believe retail will collapse next. That's really why you have to get all these incredible stimuluses across the board. 3 categories of checks. Let's look at them right now. First one, federal stimulus checks, FSCs, from the federal government. Those people in Washington, Joe Biden, the Congress, they passed this by law earlier in March. They're absolutely incredible. They're available for you. It does not matter where you live. It's not coming from your state. It's not coming from your county. It's coming from the federal government. How do you get it? You stay to the big second half as I go over all these incredible checks. It's $300,000 of checks. Yes, viewers are walking away with $200,000 from this channel. And number 2, you stay with me over this 1-hour broadcast, guys. I show you how to get these incredible checks. Number 3, go into this video, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. Join this channel because in that newsletter is where you get those incredible information about those checks. We're going to go over those in just a second. Next, inflation-related stimulus checks, because this is big numbers and it's coming from your state. I'll have the latest details on that. And then lifetime stimulus, because once your benefits go up, they never go down. That's all coming up in just a second. But let's go back into the breaking news. The breaking news is that we're rounding down the retail corporate earnings numbers this week. What do we have so far? Confusing. Target missing, Walmart beating, Kohl's missing, Macy's beating, Bigfoot not part of the equation. Why did I say Bigfoot? I have no idea. Foot Locker, not Bigfoot. Yeah, I'm sorry to Foot Locker. Bigfoot beating, Foot Locker beating. And Bigfoot confused. No, Foot Locker beating, Williams-Sonoma beating as well, and Gap beating as well. But this week is going to be dramatic. UPS says they have a lot of planes parked and not flying because there's less demand for products. Target says it sees the buyer demand down right now this week, and that it's continuing across the board. They saw 40% drop of their corporate earnings in the third quarter, but they say the situation in November is no better at all. Kohl's revoking guidance for year-end because they see the same problem additionally. And people are trying to analyze why Walmart did so well, but Target didn't, why Macy's did well, and Kohl's didn't. So jump on the live chat. Here we go. Let's predict, you and I, starting right now. Beat or miss? Do you think this was each going to go one company at a time, reporting tomorrow on corporate earnings, and we'll revisit the numbers tomorrow and see if you and I got it right, because we don't know the answers just yet. Do you think that Best Buy will beat or miss when it reports corporate earnings tomorrow? Write Best Buy, comma beat, comma miss in the live chat and your state. I'm going to say miss. I'm going to say miss because I think Best Buy is discretionary spending. You can only buy so many TV sets. And I don't think it's a really, I also don't really have another thing to compare it to yet so far in this week. Nordstrom's. Okay, you know how I'm going to do this one. Nordstrom's, I'm going to say Nordstrom's is like Macy's. Because earlier this year, when Nordstrom's and Macy's reported, they had the same numbers. At the time, it was coming off a lockdown. You need a suit. So that's why Nordstrom's did well. That's why Macy's did well. So am I going to do the same thing? I think I am. I'm going to say Nordstrom's, comma, B, comma, California. Jump in the live chat. You write what you think across the board. Dollar Tree. Okay, now this is hard. We haven't had a Dollar Tree, a Dollar General. We have had a Walmart. Walmart beat it very well. And we also had Ross Department Stores, which beat really well. So do you think Dollar Tree is going to beat? Ooh, I see no reason that it will miss, but I really don't know. I really don't know. I haven't had a comparable for that as well. I will go with beat. I have no indication of why I would miss. Dick's Sporting's Good. So Dick's Sporting Good. Have we had another comparable to this? Well, Foot Locker, but that's only apparel and shoes. It's not really uh, equipment. What am I going to do with this one? I'm going to say miss. I'm going to say miss because I think Dick's Sporting Goods was amateur sports, but more importantly, was still that outdoor lockdown play. I don't think it's going to deliver the numbers like last year, so I think it's going to be a miss, but maybe I got it wrong. Jump in the light chat. What do you think across the board? And this is why this is a very confusing economy, and this is why you have to get all this incredible stimulus. It's a very, very confusing economy, and you can't risk it at all. And with that, let's get some incredible stimulus across the board. That incredible stimulus across the board is huge, and you qualify. Let's look at those incredible stimulus check right now. The incredible federal stimulus checks is what we're going to start with starting right now. Where are they from and how do they happen? Let's look at the details. Federal stimulus checks started in the month of March with Joseph Biden. And boy, is it a lot. It's $100,000. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less annual income, go get it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, rail benefits, go get it. Yes, the first three checks, A, B, and E, C, $100,000. How do you get them? You become a member, you join this channel, then go down the membership newsletter to check A, B, and C, which you and I are going to go over in just a second in this recording. Then came along Congress, and they passed more checks, bringing us to hundreds of checks for you in the Purple Power. Hundreds of checks, E through K. We're going to go over those checks in just a second. They're all in the LATE newsletter, delivered to members from me to you Monday through Friday, 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Delivered via the YouTube alerts. You go down and apply for those incredible checks because as a Purple Power member, you're ahead of the ballgame. You're getting the massive amount of money because this is what's happening on a regular basis. We're going to go through each of those incredible checks that viewers of this channel are getting in just a second. But let's go back into the breaking news. The other breaking news details we're dealing with today is that housing is really falling apart. The data that came in on Friday was the latest details on bad housing data. It's the 11th consecutive month of declines of home builders' sentiment. It's also the latest month in which existing home sales was down. It also shows that it's the slowest pace of growth since 2011. How much more bad data do you need? Housing just falling apart. Housing is just absolutely falling apart. Is it going to get worse? Absolutely. Is auto going to get worse? Much more worse. And this is important because this is all Jay Powell and the Federal Reserve. If you watch over the weekend, and thank you for watching this weekend shows were the most watched shows on a weekend ever on this channel for several months. I mean, it's just insane. We're doing incredible, great numbers, and I'm loving what you're doing with the channel. We got 3 channels, and what are you watching here? You're watching the number 3 most watched financial news channel across the board with 3 broadcasting channels, LA1, LA2, and LA3. Long form, short form. Taped, live, your money, stocks, bonds, crypto, stimulus, and more. I got it all for you. From the Federal Reserve and recession and inflation and everything down to stimulus. It's all covered here. This is where you want to watch. You got it across all 3 channels. On LA1, you got LA Live, airing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. On LA3, you're currently watching Wall Street Live. That airs at about 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Friday. Then on Channel 2, you got Stimulus Live that airs 24/7 as well. Meantime, the big hit shows are Holidays LATE at 11 a.m. and also we have Afternoons LATE that kicks up at 3 and evenings at 5 o'clock. Let's get to the breaking details across the board that's heating up today as well. So we're trying to get a sense of where these retail numbers will come in this week, but I got to tell you, this is what you should anticipate. Some beat, some miss. There's no other way to take it. And ultimately, you want to hope that the more beat than miss. And so far, we're doing relatively well on that. We are having more beats than miss than before. Look at those poinsettia plants. Don't they look great? With that, let's go get some stimulus. Let's start with those first three checks, A, B, and C. What are they? Let's look at them right now. Check A is a $6,500 to $12,000 for stimulus check in every U.S. state. Single individual, $75,000 or less annual income, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 or less annual income, go get it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, or veterans benefits, go get it. How do I get it? Step one, go under this video, click the link where it says join the channel, become a member. Then get that membership newsletter Monday through Friday. Look at that graphic, 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. That's 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. Via the YouTube alerts, go down to check A and go get it across the board. Check A is the check that Kimberly Romano got and Spelly got. Off to check now, check B. Check B is the check that Kimberly Romano got. She got 18 months of check B, five checks a month, 80 plus checks, but she's not alone. Look at Frank Mancuso. It's nearly the same success story, almost down to the penny. He also got 18 months of checks, 18 months of utilities, 18 months of mortgage for him, and 18 months of high-speed internet. Wow. That is tens of thousands of dollars for Frank. Now, let's make this clear. He joined this channel for just a few dollars, and he walked away with nearly tens of thousands of dollars in less than 30 days. Another viewer out of Florida, what did she do? She got 18 months of checks, 5 checks a month, $80,000 to $100,000 for just becoming a member for less than 30 days. What are you waiting on becoming part of this Purple Power? Get these incredible checks across the board. Now, that is check A. Let's go down to check B. Well, that was check B. What is it? $15,000 to $80,000 a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. You become a member, go down the newsletter to check B, click the link, and go right and apply. You're not done there yet. You're going to go get check C, which is for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and more. This is the check that Lynn Glenn got. Spelly got this as well. Lynn got 14 months of utilities and 5 months of rent, she tells us yesterday. It's incredible. When you become a member, you go down the membership newsletter. It tells you 12 places to reach out to for that rent, utilities, and more. And it's that straightforward. Let's look at some of the success stories that viewers have gotten of the $50 million achieved by viewers of this channel over the last year and a half. $20,000 to $30,000 of rent, become a member, get some check C. Utilities. Here's Mark. His brother-in-law, $15,000. Become a member, get some check C's. Snap. Mark's brother-in-law is going to $250,000 over 10 years. Insane. Combinations of checks. Niece is at $23,000. She went to $50,000. Here's Mark at 32. He went to then 50, then 100, then 166. Want that? Become a member, get some check C's. Lorraine, when she was at 105, she went to 155. Absolutely incredible. The success stories are happening all the time because the money's there. Dragon, triple member to all 3 channels and longtime volunteer to the community page. She's sitting on $170,000. You just saw Lorraine, $155,000. You just saw Mark, $166,000. Johnny helped 20 neighbors and friends get $250,000. He got himself alone $80,000. What are you waiting on becoming a member? Do it right today. Go right in this video, become a member. And welcome to the nearly 100 brand new members to this family in the last 48 hours. Go into this video, subscribe to all 3 channels, LALATE1, LALATE2, and LALATE3. Go into the video and subscribe, and make sure you hit the bell on all 3 channels, LALATE1, LALATE2, and LALATE3, so you don't miss any videos or announcements. Number 2, become a member. To any 3 of those channels, all 3 channels deliver the newsletter from me to you, Monday through Friday, 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And go down that newsletter and pounds and get all those incredible checks. It's that straightforward. The market's relatively flat at the moment. We are just days away from a series of major other numbers we're watching for. Number 1, the Personal Consumption Expenditure Index. That's the PCE, is released December 1. It is inflation. It gives you a gauge of where inflation is going. I'll have my prediction for that in the big second half. Also, the December meeting for the Federal Reserve. It's likely it's going to be a 50 basis point increase, but they're not stopping at increases thereafter. It's just going to come down from 75 to 50 and continue at 50 for a while. I'll have my analysis of that in the big second half. And also the countdown to the Georgia Senate runoff in early December. Not going to change the balance of power, because the new balance of power for the Congress next year will be the Republicans holding the House and the Democrats holding the Senate. Latest details are that despite that balance of power, all this incredible stimulus will stay as law, because there will not be one political power, that is one political party, that can revoke, cancel, remove any of the stimulus. So any of the stimulus that is currently paying the viewers of this channel will stay that, and that's incredible, great news. And with that, in the big second half, we continue with the stimulus. And then we're going to go over a little bit to holidays, LA. We'll go over what stocks to look at for Wall Street Live in this type of market, when the rallying will happen in a bear market rally and a Santa Claus rally, and what the retail numbers may do for rallying of the market next week as well. It's all exciting, and we'll have it all coming up in 60 seconds as the programming continues. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals. Reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE Live Daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now in the big second half from the shores of Santa Monica, California. Welcome to Monica from Del Rey, Florida. How is the weather in Del Rey, Florida today? Monica, thank you for joining me, and thank you for all the other incredible concurrent viewers in the live chat right now. It's a big second half, and in today's recording, we continue with these incredible stimuluses. Then we're going to cut over to more about the Wall Street Live today, the latest details on the stocks, and where that stock market could go in the next few days as we enter a bear market Santa Claus rally. Wow, that's interesting. And then we'll be looking over to holidays, LA. What a big second half. And with that, let's continue with some incredible checks. Those incredible checks of checks E through K are the continuation of federal stimulus checks. Federal stimulus checks, again, are checks from Congress, the White House. They are for every U.S. state and U.S. territory. It doesn't matter where you live. Where you live is not part of the equation. It doesn't matter if you're on SSI or SSDI, and that's not part of the equation at all. It's from the federal government. You can all get it. Well, let's continue with those FSE checks now with check E. Check E is $7,500 check, stimulus check. Incredible. Check F, $4,000 stimulus check. Wow. Check G is a beautiful 30% off stimulus check. Then check H, $2,000 stimulus check. Just great. Then I, $8,000 stimulus check. Wow. Check J, $8,000 stimulus check. And check K, a $14,000 stimulus check. That's incredible. As we continue with those FSE checks, check L is $100,000 on average of loan industry money. M, $4,000 stimulus check as well. Then N, wow, Stimulus N is a brand new tablet, computer, a laptop, and the Purple Power spirit is in full form. Why? Because John Maloof got it, and his success story inspired many others. He also inspired me because I told him go get more money, and he did. He got $24,000 2 days later. When I recorded that John Maloof got his brand new tablet and is watching me on that tablet, Spelly got it. And then Lynn Glenn got it. Will you get it as well? Absolutely. It's very simple. It's all in the membership newsletter for members. A brand new tablet, also free internet. Stimulus O, 0 down payment, 0 closing costs, and no mortgage insurance required. Stimulus P, 3% for refi and 8% of closing costs. Wow. Let's go over the summation and some new details about these FSC checks. Number one, a largest check, $100,000. Smallest check is $8,000. Fastest routing time, 2 days. Johnny started on Monday, got $45,000 by Wednesday. The checks for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, home appliances, home repairs, computers, internet, and even the car. Absolutely wonderful. And those success stories just continue to come on in. So if you've had a success story, send it to me on private message. I'll feature it on this channel. If you have it, also post it in the live chat across the board. Federal stimulus checks. The next checks are ISC, inflation relief stimulus checks. They're like the icing on the cake, not the cake, but the icing. They're about $1,000, number one. They are in most U.S. states. Number three, you learn about them in the newsletter. Down at check D, like donut. Open it. It has a brand new page. Then it lists the states, the check, and the website to track it. And then finally, a lifetime stimulus, because once your benefits go up, they never go down. A wonderful viewer in our brand new show, LA Late Night, was in the live chat and said, LA, I'm a veteran. Can you tell me if the brand new raise of our benefits replaces the current raise? I said, no, it doesn't replace it. It goes on top of it. He says, why does no one explain this? I said, that's what I ask every day. It is so critically important to understand this, and yet no one's explaining this to anyone, even our veterans. Shame on them. But that's why I'm here. Let's go over the details of this right now. Imagine you are in a skyscraper, and 2 years ago you were on the first floor. Then last year, they announced you're getting a 5.9% raise for this year. You went to the second floor. Next year, you're going to the third floor because you're getting an 8.7% raise on top of the 5.9% raise. Then you're going to the fourth floor and the fifth floor the next 2 years. Why? Because Jay Powell says there's going to be 2 more years of inflation. Wow. You will be at the fifth floor and you'll never go back down at all. Because once your benefits go up, they never go down. You could still go higher to the sixth floor if inflation does come around at another time. Meantime, at the fifth year, guess what happens? The fourth year, guess what happens? All those goods you're buying right now will come down in price as your benefits will stay up. It's absolutely incredible. And with that, let's continue back into the breaking news. So the breaking news that we're dealing with right now is that Wall Street is really trying to get a sense of where this market is, and it's very, very difficult. Let me give you the broad, and then I'll go over the specifics. The broad is we are in a recession. Most people don't want to call it a recession, but it is a recession. I was the first to record that we would go into recession in February this year. They still want to say maybe next year, but let me make very clear, even earlier this year when I predicted recession, I said the real heart of the recession will be starting in early 2023, a 2-year recession. Number two, we are going to continue to have inflation for a while because the inflationary rate right now is still at 8%. Again, last year I was the first to record that we were going to have 8% inflation was not going to go away. It has not gone away. And imagine inflation is still sitting around. It's not going away. It has not come down. Number three, we are in a bear market. Bear market means down. Bear market means stocks go down. Now, in a recession, stocks go down 50%. We're not down 50%. In fact, we're up 10% since September. Yeah. And in a bear market, you can still have a Santa Claus rally. What's a Santa Claus rally? In the month of December, stocks generally rally up. And in fact, they should sometimes start in November. And they rally up until January when they go back down. So bear market down, Santa Claus rally up, recession down. The totality, my guesstimate, is that we will still rally up a little bit more into January. Yes, we are up 10% since September, folks. That's a lot. But we're still going to rally up a little bit more on top of that. And then comes January, we're going to really pull back across the board. Now, Let's go into specifics now that we've gone over large items. Specifics are you're going to see housing really get worse. You're going to see auto get really worse. And you're going to start to see the shirt come off the back in retail apparel in some places, not all places, some places. You're going to start to hear things like store closures, layoffs. You haven't heard it yet, you will. I don't know particularly when. I'm predicting you maybe hear it around January, February, when they are waiting for those numbers to come in this week, next month. They're waiting to see how they deliver on those holiday numbers, and that they don't deliver, then the announcement of bad retail apparel labor news would likely come in January. We didn't deliver the holiday season, would be something like that. They could say we're going to lay off or we're going to close a store or something like that. I believe that's where we're headed. And with that, which stock should you really be playing into, focusing on, and staying away from? I want to tell you that I think you still need to be on the sideline. You can trade, but do not buy and hold. Do not buy and hold. There's a brand new report out today from Jeremy Siegel, who I really adore, from Wharton School of Business. I feature him a lot on this channel. He says that 2023, we're going to go up a lot. I believe that's absolutely correct. In 2023, you're going to go up a lot. But do not believe that this is the bottom. I mean, clearly it's not the bottom because we're up 10% since September. Don't think that this is the bottom, and don't be greedy for the bottom, and don't think you know something more than someone else knows, because something like a Carvana could crush you. You can't predict a Kohl's versus a Gap. I can't. I really cannot predict why a Gap does well and a Kohl's does not. So do not sort of try to do it too hard. Let it all settle out. But if you want to trade, you can certainly trade. And with that, let's go into the latest details of everything we've been wanting to talk about. It's Holidays LA. Holidays LA is back in full form. It is certainly Thanksgiving week, and we deserve some holiday attention. Are you getting your tree? Are you getting ready for that holiday season? Well, I bet you are. And here is my approach to the days before Thanksgiving. Number one, this is how I prepare for the holiday season, the days before Thanksgiving. Number one, do things early, and I should follow my own advice. Do things early. Start getting out the holiday decorations right now. Start getting them out right now. The ideal universe, and I know some of us can't pull it off, but the ideal universe is to buy the Christmas tree this week, to clean the room that the tree is going to go into first today, to get out the Christmas decorations tomorrow, and to get that tree bought before Thanksgiving Day. Yes, most people really flock to that Christmas tree a lot around Thanksgiving Day or Thanksgiving Eve, or if not, then the day after. If you want to buy the tree, go to that lot today. If you want to buy the tree, get that tree bought right away. Now, here's a couple things I want you to focus on, and I know it's very important. It's been very cold in some parts of the country. That tree is going to get really dried out by that heat in the house. You got that heat on high and that room is hot, well, that tree is going to get really dried out this holiday season. So what I recommend is bring that tree up from the Christmas tree lot to the front yard and put on the hose, put that hose and wash that tree down a lot. Then put that tree in a massive gallon of water on the front lawn for a day so it really, really gets overhydrated. Because when you bring it in that house and it's so darn cold in some parts of the country this year, that tree's going to really dry out really quickly. All right, let's go back to the decorating. So get those boxes of items out for those holiday decorations right now. And what should you do for purchasing? Well, you see on the set right now the poinsettia plants. I call it poinsettia, some call poinsettia. The purple orchid is enormous, isn't it? Isn't he or she enormous? He's just enormous. And he is blocking. There's actually two poinsettia plants. There's one here in the foreground. There's one in the back. He's actually blocking the one in the back. Maybe I'll move him over. Got these yesterday, and here are my tricks of the trade for poinsettia plants. One, get the largest you can get, and literally put it down the floor in the store and compare it to the next one. There were 5 in the store, and I picked up the first one. I said, this is clearly big. So I got that one. He's in the background. Then I got the one in the foreground. I said, you look pretty good, but let me see if I found something else. And the other ones were really smaller, substantially smaller. It's when a plant is big, it's sort of hard to gauge it. So I put it on the floor in the store, and I put the one I'm comparing it against potentially buy next to it. These two won. They really won. Um, I want you to focus on the stems before you buy them. I'm doing this a lot more myself. I usually don't do it. I'm doing it certainly with the orchids. I have been buying some orchids lately where I bring them into the set, and then I notice the stem is sort of green, light green. Stem should be green, it shouldn't be light green. It means it's starting its path towards another life. It means it's heading towards end of life. You want to look at those stems in the store before you buy the plant. Is it healthy? Then make that purchase. Poinsettia plants really have a long duration. If you, by the way, these are real. I think I've hit that obvious, but I want to make that very obvious. This is all real plants behind me. Poinsettia plants have a really long duration. If you water them and really just keep them away from anything that could harm them, they have a long duration. I have not yet given them water. I will do that maybe tonight. But the last thing is the transporting them. When you bring them from the store to home, put them in the back seat. Put them in the back seat of the car, away from everything else. Maybe put a little bit of something heavy in front of them so they do not move. Keep them away from everything else. Walk very slowly when you bring them in. They are very, very fragile. When you go to the checkout stand in the supermarket, just sort of hold it up and have the cashier ring the price tag. Don't even hand it to them. They're very hideously fragile. There's nothing worse than, leaving the store and you lose 2 limbs, and you literally can. You can only just, ooh, and then suddenly the limb is broken. Once the limb is punctured, it's not going to come back. It's that simple across the board. In previous, I think it was the last season of this channel on Holidays LA, I had a poinsettia plant that lasted a long time, a very, very long time. Now let's go to the colors. These are the traditional red, and red is a great color. Sometimes people think it's fake because it is so vibrant, the color, but it is very beautiful. I call them the dimatriculated, but I've I've been questioned in prior years, what's that word? I think it was Ann said, what are you saying? That is, some call it variegated, some call it, no, there are versions of colors. I think the yellow is my most favorite, although when it's done right, it can be great. The variegated sometimes doesn't look, or dimatriculated doesn't really look that good. Sometimes it's the orange and the red, sometimes the orange and the yellow together. Sometimes it sort of looks peculiar. I like one where you see less of the leaf. Let me back up a little bit. You see less of the leaf and you see more of the green leaf and more of the plant. The more plant you see and the less green leaf, the better it delivers across the board. I have learned, at least in last year, and we did it on this channel, that the poinsettia plants, there's something going on with the growing of them. I don't know if that's still the situation this season, but last year there was a shortage of growth of them. Prior years, they couldn't get anyone to buy them. Last year, there was literally a massive shortage of them. So if you want a poinsettia plant, buy it right now. Do not wait. It's not like prior years where they're just sort of sitting around. There's 2,000 of them across the board. Buy them right now. My only reference point is last night the store had 5. So it was not like there was an enormous number of them. And buy them right now and get them wherever you find them. Price point, get the biggest you can. Don't get the small ones. They're a waste of time. Get the largest one you can, and don't worry if it seems too big. Just buy it because you're going to enjoy a large plant. It is much more enjoyable, and the small one really does not achieve much because all you see is sticks. You do not want to see the root or the hunk or the branches. You really just want to see the beauty of the plant in full bloom. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, if you're watching me live, well, guess what's coming up next? Coming up next is Mornings Live on Channel 1 on LA1. If you're watching this tape, well, guess what's coming up next is Evenings LA at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Meantime, 3 days ago, I launched a new show. I don't know what it's even called. LALATE Late Night? I don't know what it's really called. It's a question and answer show. It starts at about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock on the West Coast. It's a very late show. It's just me, you, questions, answers, no format. And we have a lot of fun. It's done with a cell phone. Last night it was taped on the beach. Yes, taped on the beach. And you're very upset you missed it. I know you're upset you missed it. It was taped on the beach here in Southern California at night. I want you to send me comments in that live chat, but more importantly, I want you to jump into the live chat here and send me private messages. Would you like that show shot earlier in the day? And would you like back outside on the original set outside? I sort of like the idea, but I don't know if you're around, and we would sort of have to put it at like a 4 o'clock or something. I don't know when we'd put it, maybe at 2:30 in the afternoon. It would basically be back on the old set. Otherwise, we stay with the current format, which is late night and not necessarily me on camera. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. At late night, apparently that time schedule worked as well. But send me your suggestions. And from the shores of Santa Monica, California, it's just getting started. A beautiful day with you and is just underway. Thank you for becoming a member. If you haven't joined this channel right now, go into this video, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power Calcino VIP. And get these hundreds of checks right away. You deserve them. They're waiting for you this very moment. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, God bless. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.